Okay, if you're still following, we're going to talk about the cost structure. That's like the next step. So after main wrapper, there's something known as a cost structure. That is, you know, client first website follows the cost structure. Basically, it's cut across every client first website. So if you go to their webstes now, you would see on their documentation they talked about what is cost structure. So we're not going to go into much details, but look at the cost structure from the body to the page wrapper to main wrapper, section header, padding global, container large, padding section large. We're going to dive into that in a minute. So, but then if you go through the documentation, you see where they explained all of this. Okay, so that's not why we're here. Let's just go back. So after the main wrapper, you want to bring in a div block. Okay, a div block. I use div block a lot. I don't use section or whatever. I just use div block for everything. So main wrapper, we have a div block and empty div block. Now we want to call this is where you have to be following client first. You would say section underscore home header. Okay, home header. So section underscore home header. This is coming from a place of, this is our first section, right? This whole section here is our first section, is the header section. So home header. All right, so home header. So you just have to try to name it in a way that it makes sense to a layman. All right, section underscore home header. The person will know that, okay, it's a section that would house this entire home header or home hero. You can say section underscore home hero. Just become whatever you want to. Now the next thing you want to, now I'll be using shortcuts. All right, I'll be using command E for this find anything shortcut. Just type in div. I don't have to like go here and click and whatever. So yeah, the next thing is another div block. Now we're going to call this div block, following the cost structure, we're going to say padding global. Padding global. So there is, from the style guide, this one is known as a universal class. Okay, you say it's a universal class. It's a global class. All right, it's a class that this is just the work of this class. Basically, it adds 2.5 padding to the left and to the right. Okay, so it's constant. Just know that it's constant. Now inside of it, you bring in another div block again, div block here, and you're going to call this container large. Container. Oops. Now, mind you, as you are typing, it's bringing out all of this. Because you are using client first, because we have a style guide, so it is drawing all the styles or the class names from the style guide by default. So we have container large. This container large is set to max width 80 rem. Now following your design, you have to like look at your design, then know what container you're going to use. So now this container is going to house everything in your design to a max width of 80 rem. 80 rem should be about 1100 or 1200 pixels of width. All right, so now looking at this design, you can tell that there is always this space here and here and here. So basically this is like a container large. All right, this one, everything is aligned in the center. Okay, but every other thing, you see that there is this space here and here. It doesn't go past this. Let's take a look at the prototype to have a clearer view. You notice that this design has a space. So you see, this is set. This design is following. They are all in a container of maybe max width 1001 or 1002. Depending as the case may be. So yes, that's why we are using a container large. So this is the work of that. This container large is having a max width of 80 rem. Now after which you're going to bring in another div block here, and you would say you will call this padding section. Now there is padding section large, there is padding section medium, there is padding section small, depending on what you want. You can say padding section, let's say padding section medium. Let's see what it does. It adds just 5 rem. Now all of these are in our style guide, right? They are there by default. The style guide made all of this, so it's easier for you to just call it. Now once you understand the cost structure, all this won't be a problem. All right, so this is just client first strategy. Now you have 5 rem to the top, 5 rem to the bottom. That is the job. If 5 rem is too much, you can say, okay, you want your padding section medium to be 4 rem. Just change it to 4 to the top and 4 to the bottom. That is it. You've changed it. You've styled it the way you want to. It doesn't have to be 5 rem. Doesn't have to be anything. It's just depending on your design. This 5 rem means padding top is going to give the top and bottom a padding of 4 rem, 4 rem, so that other content will not, be too close other content will not stack themselves too close to each other. Okay, now this is where we move on to the proper, stuff. Now, mind you, this is section home header, so this should be a section, all right, but I'm using a div block. Now, what you want to do for the sake of SEO and for the sake of Google crawlers, you want to come to this place and say tag. You want to change this tag to what? Section. Very important. So it defines that div block as a section. So this is very important. Now we've done that. Now you want to go back to our padding section, medium, and bring in a div block again. Now this div block, look at where it is here. Now, following this our design, you notice that the design, this is 100 viewport height. This section is having 100 viewport height. That means from this text to this images, it's 100 viewport height. So what we want to do is we want to give our section home header a minimum height of 100 VH. That is 100 viewport height. Now what that means is this home header is now having a height of 100 VH. All right, if we try to change the color, you see that, you see what's happening now. That entire section is now covering the entire page. So we don't want to give it a color. I'm just trying to show you guys what is going on. Okay, now from the design again, you see that everything here is aligned in the middle. What you want to do, you want to still say section home header. You want to flex it, display flex box, and you want to say middle, align, center, justify, middle. So you see now this div block is now at the middle. One more thing, make this 100%. Good. We're on track. So padding section and that empty div block. So it is now this div block is now in the middle because we've given this guy a display of flexbox and justify align middle. Okay, so this div block, we're going to say because of this section having home hero, every other thing that we're going to name our div block would be home hero, just for the sake of client first. There's a reason for that. So you're going to say home hero underscore home hero. Let's say home hero underscore wrapper. Good. Home hero wrapper. Now let's go look at our design. Now this and this and this. So inside the home hero wrapper, we're going to have this heading and this paragraph and these buttons. All right. So inside of home hero wrapper, we're going to say div block again. You might want to say home hero content. Now after the wrapper content, home hero underscore content. So the wrapper is what is wrapping everything, and the content is where everything is going to be under. So now under the home hero content, we now have heading H1. All right. Okay. Now also we're going to bring in a paragraph. We have the paragraph. All right. So we now have this and this. What we want to do, you want to come here and copy this text, simplify financial whatever, and you want to like paste it here. Now we've pasted it. Now you want to go copy the font, the paragraph too. Copy that paragraph and you want to paste it here. Good. Now we now have this and this inside our home hero content. Okay. This is getting too long. Okay, I'm just trying to finish this home hero. Now we now have this guy. So this is a div block that is flexed horizontally, having this icon and this icon. Now let's go and do that. So inside the home hero content, you're going to bring in a div block. Okay, now this div block is going to you're going to call it maybe you would say home hero underscore download buttons. Okay, home hero underscore download buttons, or maybe the download button is too long. Can just say home hero underscore download. Nah, not download. Maybe home hero underscore. What do we call those things now? Okay, yeah. Let's just say download btn. btn means button, right? So that it's not too long. Okay. Now inside of it, you're going to bring in. I already saved that as an image. We're going to bring it in. Now, mind you, let's go and bring in all our assets. That is the step I missed. So you want to go to here and you want to go to what's it called, assets, and click on this upload file here. Now you go to where you have all the assets downloaded. Look at all of them here for me. So just copy everything or highlight everything, select everything, and bring it into your assets. So we have all our assets here. Good. So it's easier to just say, oh, we have the first image here, choose image, maybe App Store, the first one. Maybe it's too big. You can resize it from here. Just click on this node here and resize. Okay. Now I'm gonna bring in another image. All right. Bring in another image and select the other one, which is the Google image. Also resize. Good. So this home hero download button, you want to say flexbox. You want to make it flexbox and horizontal. Now you want to create space in between the two buttons because they are too close to each other. Notice we have a space here of 16 pixels, right? 16 pixels, that's like 1 rem. So you want to say gap 1 rem. Boom, that's it. We have a 1 rem gap here. Okay, now the next thing you want to do, we are done with setting everything. Now you notice all of these guys are in the center. How you can achieve that is you click on maybe from your home hero content. What I would do is I would say display flexbox vertical, right? Align center. See? Align center and justify. No, just align center. Aligned everything at the center. Now you want to also come to alignment here, text alignment, and click here so that I can align the font. Now notice how our own is clustered. It's like it's not fine. It's just looking so ugly compared to this. What we want to do is after this heading we have a spacing here of 1 rem. After this paragraph we have a spacing here in between of 1 rem. What you want to do is, because you say home hero content is display flexbox vertical, you can go to the row and say 1 rem. That's the gap in between every item. Maybe 1 rem is too small. Let's say 2 rem. Good, we have 2 rem. Now another thing we want to do is notice how everything is, there is like a contained, it's inside a container. That is why it is not overflowing all around. When it gets to that container, it breaks. That is why you get to see with FinTrack down and all of these guys too down. So how do we do that? Now you go to your home hero content and you set a minimum width of maybe 40 rem. A maximum width of, let's say, 40 rem, not minimum, sorry, maximum width. You now eyeball it. 40 rem is too small, it doesn't make sense. You say 50 rem. Okay, now this makes sense. You see, with FinTrack is down and this too is down. But if you notice, it's going to one side. Why is it going to one side? All you need to do is just to click on this spacing here, center element horizontally, required fix. Just click on this icon here. Now it's going to set the margin left to auto, margin right to auto, and we have this beautiful section like this for a start. Okay, so we're going to stop here for now. The next video we're going to add the image and also this other section. All right, so see you guys in the next video.